Mackey and his mother reach their apartment, which is housed in a tall building. As they wait for the elevator, Mackey decides to climb up through the stairs to the 8th floor as their previous apartment didn't have an elevator, so he is used to it. At the Shijo Minami school, the girls' soft tennis team plays with the boys' team who suck at tennis, and as they dominate the game, the boys joke around with them rather than feeling ashamed. They even clap at the girls at one point when they score a point and appreciate their skills. The girls' team coach argues that the boys aren't even feeling ashamed, and the boys' team coach explains to her that their intentions are not bad. The match continues as Takeda and the girl team serves the ball, and in the boys' team Tama manages to send the ball back a few times before he fails to hit the ball back and the girls score a point. After the match, Tama thanks Takeda for the match and she advises him to work on his aim for his first serve. The girls all gather around their captain Takeda and tell her she did a good job. They discuss how there is no point in practicing with the boys, and their point is proven when they look at the boys who are just lounging around like a bunch of pigs. Tama walks back to his team who tell him he did a good job, and one of them tells another player called Itsuki to tell his sister Takeda to go easy on them. Itsuki replies that he better be joking, and he and another player now joke around about the club. Suddenly one of the players named Takudo decides to quit because he can never become famous enough to confess to his crush, and he runs away. During one of the student council meetings, the student council president Kasuga tells everyone that school funds are distributed equally between all the clubs. However, from now on, the funds will be distributed according to the potential of the club, and the clubs that are not excelling with face cutbacks. She even questions whether there is any point in letting such clubs continue who are not producing any results. Later, Tama shares this information with his team members, and he tells them that their club will be disbanded if they don't win a single match in the summer tournament. The others don't argue against this decision since they know they can never win a match, and they all discuss how their seniors are partly to blame as well for their pathetic performances. They discuss how no first year joined their team this year, and Tama also becomes angry to notice that the others aren't even concerned about the club getting disbanded. Back at his home, Mackey cooks food for himself and his mother and sees her off. Tama's family member tells him to hand a flyer to Mackey while Mackey takes the trash out as he heads to school. On his way out, he almost collides with a schoolmate of his called Kanako, and he apologizes to her for rushing so much. They both introduce themselves and she asks him why he doesn't use the elevator like a normal person, so he reveals that waiting for the elevator is a pain even though he has to run up and down from the 8th floor. At the school, Mackey and Kanako are in the same class while the others wonder which school Mackey has come from since he is wearing a different uniform. Tama then gives Mackey a stars and map calendar and comments that Ryoma gave it to him. Mackey tells him that he has come back home, and he then shows Kanako the calendar that Ryoma sent him. Tama announces to the whole class that the student council is apportioning school funds between clubs based on their achievements, and he also tells everyone to help out Mackey if he has any problem, but Mackey tells them that he will be fine on his own. The girls' softball team discusses how the boys' team is trying to recruit new athletic members to increase their chance of winning, and they trash talk about them. Tama tries to find a new member, but he realizes that all good players have already joined clubs like soccer or the basketball club. In the meanwhile, a cat somehow enters Mackey's classroom and everyone tries to catch her, but she just runs between their legs like a pro. She even jumps over Kanako's head and Mackey suddenly catches her in the midair. He starts to tease the cat while Tama's teammate comments that Mackey's reflexes are pretty good. After school, Tama stops Mackey on the way and asks him bluntly to join the boys' soft tennis club. He replies that he does not want to join any club, but Tama doesn't give up and he shares that their club will be disbanded soon if they don't win. He appeals to him that his quick reflexes can help them win a match, but Mackey just tells him that he is not interested. Later, Tama tells his brother Ryoma that he wants Mackey to join their club, and he admits that it's a good idea since Mackey doesn't have many friends. Tama tells him the real motive behind inviting Mackey and asks him whether he really wants the club to be disbanded as a former alumni who took the club to nationals. Ryoma argues that his intentions as an alumni shouldn't matter, rather they should decide their own path. But this just makes Tama angry, and he thinks that Ryoma is thinking that he cannot revive the club on his own. He storms out, and later Ryoma tells his mother that he won't be having dinner with them. His mom starts to get nervous when she realizes that she will be having dinner alone with only Tama. The next day, Tama stops Mackey after school again and asks him to join his club, but he refuses. Tama explains that he knows he does all of the chores at his house and he offers to help him out after school. He even says that joining clubs costs money, so they will all buy equipment and uniforms for him too, but Mackey still doesn't budge from his decision. Tama then tells him that Ryoma also wants him to join the club since he is an alumni, and Mackey asks him to give him money if he really wants him to join the club. Tama tells him that he will give 10,000 yen every month if he joins the club, and after handing him a beginner-friendly soft tennis racket and telling him to come to the locker room the next day, he runs away even though Mackey officially didn't agree to join the club. Later, Mackey's dad forces his way inside the house, and when Mackey tells him to get out, he slaps him like a certified douchebag. He then kicks Mackey around, and after taking his money, he goes out. Tama comes across one of his friends Yuta getting bullied by a bunch of losers, so he steps in to save him. The bullies run away because they think Tama is nuts, and Tama advises Yuta to fight back against the bullies, but he knows Yuta is too nice to do that. Later, Tama takes Mackey to the club advisor Sakurai and informs him that Mackey is joining their practice from now on. He inquires Mackey about his red cheek, so Mackey lies to him that he fell on his face when he was sleeping. Tama then takes him to a locker room which no other club uses, and he gives him somebody's old shoes, a bag, and some clothes to wear. Mackey takes Taketa's sun visors that are lying around as well because he thinks it looks cool on him, even though Tama tells him that only girls wear it. Kanako notices Tama and Mackey coming out of the club room, and she can't believe Mackey would join such a garbage club. The 6 other members of the soft tennis club tease Mackey and also introduce themselves to him. They call him cheeky when he tells them about himself, and Tama tells him that he is going to pair up with him to play doubles since their school only plays doubles. He starts to lead Mackey to the court to tell him about the rules of soft tennis, and the vice captain of the club, Rintaro, asks Tama whether it's really a good idea to take a beginner to the court right off the bat. One of them asks Mackey to run 20 laps around the ground to prove he has stamina, and the others propose that they should all run 20 laps to welcome the newcomer. They all then run laps around the ground while the other club members wonder what the men's soft club is doing, since they must be pretty desperate to start running out of nowhere. Even the girls' team admires them for finally training, and the boys continue to run till one by one they start to drop out. Mackey continues to run consistently, and the others start dropping off one by one like flies. Soon only Tama and Mackey keep running side by side, and Tama advises Mackey to not push himself too hard, but Mackey just makes a retort that he is not going to properly walk the next day. They both even catch up with the other members who are just dragging themselves on the ground at this point, and Tama tells Mackey to give up again, and Mackey in return asks him to give up instead. They both finally finish running 20 laps and collapse on the ground, where Tama asks him whether he really wasn't in any sports club. He confirms that he was not, and Tama comments that with his endurance and speed they can definitely win the match if they pair up. Mackey tells him that he will be counting on him, and one by one the other members also reach them and collapse on the ground. The others also compliment Mackey's endurance, and they officially welcome him again in the club. Kanako calls them dumb for acting so pathetically, since they are a soft tennis club rather than a tennis club. Later, Kanako makes digital art at her home in which the girls are wearing knee-high socks, and a bunch of loser boys fangirl over her art online, which makes her comment that they are all pathetic. The next day, Tama tells Mackey to hurry up in the classroom since he is the class president as well, and when they both head out, some girls tease Kanako by asking her whether she knows the new student Mackey. They even call her a creepy otaku when she heads out, while Kanako thinks that they are just a bunch of mean cows. Mackey asks Tama to go ahead when he notices someone staring at them, and he stops behind to ask Yuta whether he is interested in joining the soft tennis club since he is always following them around. Yuta tells him that he is not an athlete, and Mackey notices that Yuta seems to like Tama, so he tells him that he can like whoever he wants. He then asks him to become their team manager to help out with their training schedules and their equipment. Later at home, Mackey barbecues meat for his mother and her friend Shu. He later runs out to bring some tea for Shu, and when he is gone, his mother discusses with Shu that Mackey's dad hasn't discovered their new place, and that she has filed an application for a restraining order against him. They also discuss that it is a good thing that Mackey has joined a club since his dad cannot reach him then. The next day, Mackey introduces Yuta to the whole club as their new member, and he instructs them to clean their lockers in the storage room by themselves. Some of them comment why he is bossing them around, but Tama stands by his decision. The boys tell Mackey that they only get the court on alternative days, so they have to practice on the ground on the other days, and Mackey comments that they just need to get better facilities. Tama shows Mackey soft tennis balls, and Mackey comments that they seem filthy, so the others tell him that the girls' team gets the new ones while their team only gets old balls. Tama shows him how to properly hold a racket and how to grip it. After gripping it, he tries to swing it, and the others advise him to always look around when he is swinging the racket. Tama then shows him the basic posture in which he slightly bends his knees and raises his feet above the ground, and he explains that the posture is important to quickly run anywhere in the court to hit the ball back. He then shows him how to do a backswing in which he plants his left foot and swings the racket, and Mackey imitates him by doing the same. He hits the ball at the wall and hits it back and forth. After showing it to Mackey, he asks him to do the same, and the others comment that Mackey cannot possibly hit the ball at his first try, but to their surprise, Mackey not only hits the ball back, but he keeps hitting it back and forth with his quick reflexes. Tama then shows him how to hit the ball from his left side since he can hit it quickly this way, and once again Mackey imitates him. They all then practice swinging the ball back and forth, and Mackey does it splendidly as he switches between the postures that Tama showed him. Afterwards, he calls the team a bunch of cowards and losers since some of them are not even able to hit the ball properly like him, and he tells them that they are making excuses about their performance. Things get heated up and someone is about to hit him while another member starts to cry. They all cool down and start practicing their swings again, while Tama thinks that Mackey deliberately scolded everyone to motivate them. After helping him in his shopping, Tama, Yuta, and Kanako accompany Mackey to his home, and he cooks food for them which they enjoy a lot. He even asks Kanako why she isn't going home, but she makes an excuse that her house is just one floor down, so who cares. Mackey asks Tama about the composition of a soft tennis team, so Tama explains to him that a pair consists of a back player and a front player, in which the rear player acts like a playmaker while the front player strikes the ball whenever he gets the chance. Mackey's mother also arrives home early, so everyone greets her while she seems to know Kanako from before. They all eat food together, and Tama shares with her that he used to go to Mackey's elementary school back in the day. They all get up to leave, so she tells them to come back whenever they want to play with Mackey. The next day, Tama tells him about the different kinds of matches that are played and how one team needs to win the majority of the matches within one set to win. They all get ready to practice, and Mackey notices that Itsuki is not present, so he asks Tama about him, but Tama just makes an excuse on his behalf. They then decide to let Mackey play a match to properly teach about all the tennis rules, and Tama guides him to tuck his shirt in his shorts since it's a rule as well. He and Tama then get on the court against two other players called Teo and Shingo. Shingo tells Teo to aim for Mackey's feet to attack him right off the bat, but before they can launch their attack, Mackey rushes at them and does a volley attack which earns him a score. Tama then serves the ball to Shingo, who hits it back so bad that it lands in the girls' court instead. Mackey does his first serve and he hits it hard, which earns him a score since nobody is able to hit it back. He does a second serve, and this time Teo is unable to hit the ball back, which earns Mackey a score. They win a game this way by earning 5-0 points first, and they follow the same pattern in the second game, which earns them a win. They win the set since they have a majority of 2 wins, and the other members discuss that they probably shouldn't let Mackey get too full of himself. Up next, 2 members called Rintaro and Subasa face them next, and Subasa tells his teammate to only target straight shots at Mackey. The game begins and he tries this tactic, but Mackey just hits the ball back and earns a point. Tama compliments his volley skills, and Subasa and Rintaro keep hitting straight shots at him, but Mackey just hits the ball right back at them. Tama starts noticing that the boys are targeting Mackey only, which pisses him off, and soon they both win 2 matches against Tsubasa's pair. Yuta compliments Mackey's playing skills, which pisses off Tsubasa even more, and up next Itsuki and now come to the court to play them. Itsuki aims right at Mackey and earns a score as Mackey backs away from his shot. Itsuki targets him and smashes the ball at his thigh, due to which Mackey gets a welt too. Mackey then asks Tama what he should do, and he advises him that he should fall back to baseline in case of a fast ball, and that he needs to keep changing his position according to the flow of the game. Mackey takes his advice, and as the game continues, he keeps changing his position as he runs all over the court. This way he doesn't get hit, and he also manages to make a few shots that earn him points. Mackey and Tama win both games against Itsuki's pair, and after the match Mackey calls the club a bunch of good-for-nothing losers who cannot even take down a newbie. They start arguing with him, and Tama yells at them that Mackey is right. He asks them how they can lose to a newbie, and he calls them plain awful. Yuta tries to justify that everyone is trying their best, and he storms off after telling them that they can never be good at anything if they can't even play good after trying their best. Once he is gone, the others wonder what they should do. Meanwhile, Tama arrives home early, and his mom asks him why he is home early. He answers that he left practice, so she accuses him of not trying hard. Mackey gets a list of the players' playing styles and their personalities from Rintaro and Yuta. They also tell him that they came up with the current pairings by themselves, and he comments that the current pairs seem like leaders and they're lackeys. He starts to realize what the problem in the club might be. Ryama meets up with Tama and Tama tells him that the club is worthless because of him. He says that even his mom agrees, and Ryama tells him that it's not his fault that his mom doesn't get along with him, so he shouldn't blame himself. The next day the club members practice swinging rackets as always, and they wonder when Tama will rejoin them. Mackey watches the girls' team compete with each other to observe their playing style. Yuta meets up with Tama and asks him whether he is coming back, so Tama tells him that he is fed up with soft tennis. The other members take a break to discuss their current situation, and some schoolmates tease them about being a loser club. One of them calls Itsuki out and tells everyone that Itsuki's parents are divorced, due to which his house is always a mess. Itsuki tells him to shut up, but when he doesn't listen, Itsuki hits his head with a racket, due to which he starts bleeding. The others scold him for lashing out, but Mackey stands by him and he tells everyone that he lives with his divorced mom too. He comments that he shouldn't have wasted the racket by hitting him, and afterwards their advisor Sakurai also scolds him for lashing out with a racket, even though he admits that nobody should trash talk about his family. The others tell Mackey that Itsuki doesn't change his clothes in front of him because his mom poured boiling water on his back when he was a toddler, due to which he has burning scars on his back. Mackey realizes that Itsuki is pretty strong if he can admit such a tale to his friends, and later Itsuki walks back to his home with his sister Nami. Later at night, Mackey calls Tama and tells him he cannot quit the club at any cost since he won't permit it. He tells him that they will all get better together, so he agrees to come back. The next day, Tama apologizes to everyone for skipping practice, and they all forgive him. Mackey tells everyone that he wants to mix up the pairs, and they argue with him that nobody gave him the right to change things in the club. He gives the list of new pairs to Tama and he comments in surprise that these are the worst pairs he could possibly make. First up, he groups together Shingo and Subasa and switches their positions, which makes them whine endlessly. He then plays a 15 points match with them to test their compatibility, and Shinjo tells Mackey that he will smack him right in the face. The match begins and Shinjo loses a ball, so Tsubasa yells at him to stop giving Mackey such easy volleys. They keep playing and keep missing every ball because they still aren't used to their positions. Mackey hits the ball close to the net and Tsubasa fails to catch it. Similarly, he hits the ball towards the corner at Shinju and Shinju just hits the ball straight back at him, due to which he hits it right back. They keep struggling, but slowly Shinjo starts to get a hang of it as he covers the backside while Tsubasa runs left and right to hit the ball back at Mackey from the front. Somehow they manage to score once, which is a miracle for them, and they compliment each other for scoring and coordinating together. Their play starts to get better as they both get used to each other's styles, and soon they start coordinating as well to score some points. They both coordinate to throw some shots, which both Mackey and Tama fail to hit back, and soon their points start to increase as well. Soon they win the match with a 5 points lead, and Mackey tells Tama that the new pair is good since their playing styles are compatible with each other. Mackey explains that they are both self-centered playing, so they can play well together if they learn to give a little give and take and play selfishly all the while. Tama realizes that the playing style of the players needs to be compatible with their strengths, and he asks Mackey whether he held back, but he doesn't give him a reply. They play the next match with Itsuki and Rintaru, who play well right off the bat. Itsuki scores first and he continues to score as a front player, while the others discuss that Itsuki has good focus and he is quick to make decisions, due to which his position as a front player is good. Shingo comments that Itsuki and Rintaru make a good pair, but he stops himself since he doesn't want to compliment Mackey. The match continues and soon Itsuki and Rintaru win by a 3 points lead. Mackey wonders what they should do while Tama just shakes his head at his trolling. Up next they play the last match against Teiyu and Nao, who are both meek players, but unlike the other two pairs, they keep messing up. Mackey and Tama score some points over them, and when Teiyu fails to hit the ball again, Nao comes up with an idea. They both position themselves at the back and throw long shots at Tama, who is forced to run back and forth. This trick works since Nao has good aim, so he can hit long shots, and they then score their first point. Tama realizes that both the players have similar personalities, due to which they know what the other one is thinking, and Nao's pair continue to rake up points this way. Both teams score some points this way, and at the end Mackey and Tama win by a 2 points lead. Tama comments to Mackey that he held back, and Mackey reveals that he wanted to give confidence to the players, but also he held back because the blisters on his hand are killing him. Sakaki observes that the boys are practicing, and even the students' club members discuss that the soft tennis ball boys are practicing on their own. They wonder what will happen if the boys end up winning a match in the tournament, since they have made up a budget without even considering them. The Fatso president comments that losers will always stay losers while successful people will always move forward, so they don't need to worry. Yuta compliments Mackey's pairing skills and he reveals that he already has an idea on how to improve the performance of the pairs. He tells all the pairs to stick with each other between classes and after school so that they can get to know each other better. The boys run laps after school and practice hitting the ball against the rackets. Kanako comments that the boys have changed a lot and Yusa tells her that they have got new confidence now. Mackey calls the boys together and they ask him whether he has any new ideas for them to practice. They keep discussing new ideas while Tama cannot believe that they have changed so much. Rintaru arrives home and his mom hugs him tight. She notices that he looks down, but when she asks him about it, he doesn't say much. Tama and the others visit Mackey's house again and this time he makes them help him out in cooking. Afterwards, they all enjoy the delicious food that he made for them and his mom joins them as well when she arrives back. The next day, the girls' soft tennis club advisor Miru asks Sakurai whether his club is working so hard because of him and he tells her that they are working hard on their own. He compliments them and even comments that the girl captain Takeda seems impressed by them lately. Kanako draws weird drawings during the class while Sakurai hits up one of his old juniors to ask him a favor. Afterwards, he gathers all the members around and tells them that he has set up a practice match with Misaki Academy. They all whine and complain that Misaki Academy players are all champions who are really good players, so they cannot possibly win against them, and Mackey argues with them that it's a good chance to practice against them. He goes all Buddha mode on them that playing with such strong players can help them identify their weaknesses and they will also realize how much they have changed. He explains that they can also get ready for the summer tournament this way, so all the boys get pumped up and they even thank Sakurai for arranging this opportunity for them. Sakurai meets up with his old junior where he discusses that people should enjoy being in clubs, but if his students want to go an extra mile, he will help them out. His friend warns him that Misaki Academy players are all strong, so Sakurai assures him that his students won't get disheartened so easily. The next day, Mackey asks his teammate to give him his spare racket, and when Tama asks him what happened, he tells him that he broke it. The others continue their practice while Tama holds Mackey back in his class and asks him to tell him the truth about his racket since he knows that he is not stupid enough to break his racket. Mackey tells him after a moment that his dad broke the racket and that his dad is trash even though his parents are divorced now. He reveals that his dad comes by sometimes for money when his mom isn't around and hits him as well. In the past, his mom used to work while his dad had only responsibility to watch over him, but even then he used to beat him up and he still remembers it now. Mackey explains that he always freezes up when his dad beats him up and that he couldn't do anything even when he broke his racket in front of him and that he will come back again to get some money. He tells Tama that his mom knows that he comes by, due to which she puts some money on aside for his sake, but he always hides it somewhere else and his dad always manages to find it. Tama gives his latest racket and tells him to keep it since it suits him better. The boys keep up their practice and Yuta gives them drinks to hydrate them. Miru tells Sakurai that the boys' team seems to be changing just like him, but he argues that he is an adult so he cannot really change. The track club members come to the locker room and tease the tennis members about being losers. They also joke around with them, but when they start teasing Yuta, the boys tell them to shut up since Yuta is sensitive about being bullied. The boys then wonder where Tama and Mackey are, and they guess that both of them must be out to research some training methods. Tama withdraws some money and gives it to Mackey to give it to his dad. He whines that he doesn't want his money, so Tama reminds him that he is just giving him advance money for his deal. Later, when Mackey's dad reaches his home, he creepily walks inside and Tama rushes out at him. He throws the money at him and tells him to stop tormenting Mackey, who is his doubles partner. His dad tells him that he is Mackey's dad and that the office will give him his son's address no matter where they move to. Tama yells at him that he will kill him if he doesn't stop tormenting him and that he will be doing this world a favor by killing him. His dad starts to threaten Tama instead, so Mackey steps between them and threatens to kill his dad if he lays a finger on Tama. His dad asks Tama about his full name and he comments that he will remember this. He leaves and Mackey thanks Tama for his help. Tama replies that he is his partner, which makes Mackey cry and he thanks him again. At Kasuga's mansion, her grandmother discusses her school with her, and when she leaves, her mom also asks her how her school is doing. Kasuga shares that she has been expanding her knowledge at the school, and her mom comments that it was a good idea for her to enroll in a school where the townspeople go to assess the lives of common people. Kasuga thinks about how she wanted to go to a certain affiliated girls' school, but her mom forced her to enroll in her current school, and how her mom and grandmother had a big argument over her school in the beginning. Of course, both her mother and grandmother also call her different names, while she calls herself Kaori since it's a cute name. The next day, Kanako asks Mackey where he was last day, but he doesn't share the truth with her. Rintaru scribbles down some notes on how to improve his softball performance, and his teacher Miru calls him in the front to solve a question. He quickly solves it and goes back to his seat. After the class, Tama tells him that Mackey has made a training schedule for all of them, and Rintaru begins whining about how he hasn't contributed to their club even though he is the vice president. He tells him that Mackey had him realize that the club sucked before because of him, and that he is retiring as the vice president because he cannot reach anyone's expectations, including his parents. Tama argues with him that he knows his parents are really proud of him, but he argues that his parents wouldn't have given birth to him if they were really proud. He explains that his parents are not his real parents, but rather his mother gave him up for adoption because she was an unmarried young woman, and his parents then took in a stray dog like him. He comments that he is a burden on his parents, and this triggers Tama, who yells at him that his parents love him more than anyone else, and that just because they didn't give birth to him doesn't invalidate their feelings. He advises him not to share his feelings to Mackey, and just then, Mai comes towards them, so Rintaru makes an excuse and rushes away. Mackey asks Tama whether anything happened, but he doesn't tell him anything. Later he tells Mackey that he will share everything with him after some time, and they both then head to start their practice. Tama and Mackey practice with Itsuki and Rintaru, and afterwards Sakurai instructs everyone to meet up at the station the next morning. They all meet up the next day to walk together to Misaki Academy, and even Kanako joins them. They then reach Misaki Academy's huge tennis courts, and Tama gives a speech to everyone that they will crush their opponents at any cost. Misaki Academy first-year members cheer their team on like their whole career depends on it, and Kanako comments that they are disgusting. Now and Teiyu get chosen first to play a doubles match, and Teiyu wonders whether their opponents will complain that they are not putting up a fight. Mackey tells them that they have already lost the match if they are not prepared mentally, and he asks Yuta to share the data of their opponents with them since he has been coming the past few days to scout the Misaki Academy players out. Yuta tells them both that they are going to face Ayumu and Miwa, who are an excellent pair, and he shares each of their qualities with them. Mackey advises them that they can win if they play as a pair, and Shingo shows them how to do a victory dance that his little sister taught him. All the boys follow him and do the embarrassing dance, which even makes Misaki Academy's coach ask Sakurai whether they are doing some kind of pre-tradition dance. A cocky Misaki Academy player Arashi tells his boys that they shouldn't lose even a single point to the boys, and they assure him that they will obliterate their opponents. The 5-match game starts, and as the first match proceeds, Teiyu and Nao keep up with the ball as they hit it back and forth. This surprises Misaki Academy boys since they were thinking that it would be a pretty one-sided game. One of the Misaki boys messes up, due to which Nao runs ahead and smacks the ball on the inside, which earns him a point. After securing the first point, they resume the match with mostly long rallies, and once again Nao hits the ball at the center, which earns his team another point. The match resumes, and due to Nao and Teiyu's long shots, Misaki's backside player has to run a lot, which drains his energy. He makes a bad shot which lands outside the court, and the Nao-Teiyu pair earns another point this way. Misaki's pair starts arguing with each other as they debate they cannot volley due to their opponent's long shots, and how the front side player Ayumu is not moving around a lot. Soon Teiyu and Nao secure enough points to win their first match, and the referee instructs them to switch sides for the second match. Kanako cannot believe that they have actually won the match, and Yuta tells her that the team needs to win 3 matches in total to win the game. Ayumu and Miwa decide to get serious for the next match, and they even reconcile with each other. The second match begins, and this time Miwa starts the match with a curve ball. He serves it to Teiyu, who hits it back, but due to the curve ball the ball goes out of the court, and they lose the point. Once again Miwa makes a serve with the same kind of curve ball, and when Nao hits it back, the ball touches the net and they lose a point. Miwa makes the same serve again, and Teiyu hits it back just like the first time, due to which the ball goes out the court, and he loses any point. Nao and Teiyu lose the second match to Misaki Academy boys, and the game continues this way as they lose 1 point after another. Soon they lose all 3 of their matches to Misaki Academy boys, and Mackey advises them to work more on their formation. They also think that they need to work more on their stamina and endurance. They all discuss how they can improve, while Kanako wonders why they are acting so happy, and Yuta tells her that they are learning from their loss as well. For the next match, Itsuki and Rintaru face another one of Misaki Academy's pair, and Yuta gives them the tea about each player to help them out. The match begins, and Misaki's pair makes a very quick but strong serve that they fail to hit back, which loses them a point. Misaki's pair keeps up the quick and powerful serves, due to which they earn all the points and also win the first match. The players switch sides, and Rintaru and Itsuki discuss that they are getting used to their opponent's speed now, and how their serve isn't that impressive compared to the girls' team Takeda's serve. The second match begins and Rintaru serves the ball. They keep playing till Rintaru observes an opening and hits the ball there, which earns his team a score. Once again the game continues, and this time Itsuki does a quick volley when he sees a chance, which earns him another point. They continue to score this way till they score all the points and win the second game. Mackey comments that Rintaru may have the best game sense among all of them, and the next game begins, in which Rintaru keeps up his play, but slowly he starts to feel drained and heavy. Eventually they lose 2 games to Misaki Academy, and the game ends with Misaki Academy as the winner. Up next, Subasa and Shingo prepare themselves, and Yuta tells them that their opponents have played on national level, so they are very good. They face their opponents, who tell them they are not going to hold like the previous guys, and that the match is going to be a piece of cake since they are at a completely different level. So Shingo smashes his opponent's hand and Subasa kicks one of them in the knee for acting like trash. The match begins and Shingo yells out a special move as he makes the serve. Subasa then yells out like a banshee, due to which their opponents lose their focus and hit the ball wrongly. The pair earns a point, and they follow this strategy again and again till they earn all the points and win their first match. In the second match, Misaki's Academy Tanaka serves the ball, but Subasa yells at him so loud that he ends up hitting the net. He serves the ball again, and this time Shingo hits it back with a loud yell. Tanaka hits it back, but the ball hits the net and they earn another point. Tanaka's teammate tells him to focus, and slowly they get their spirits back as they regain their focus and start playing the game better. Misaki Academy's players win the match, and they keep up the pace as they also win the next 2 matches. Shingo and Subasa lose the game, and they discuss how they can improve their game. Mackey and Tama get up to face the Misaki Academy ace pair, which includes Arashi and Sunaga, while Rintaru tells them that Arashi is the pair leader. Arashi tells them that they will crush them, and Mackey just laughs evilly at his face. The match begins, and right off the bat, Mackey takes a chance and does a volley, which earns him a score. Arashi turns the tables and scores 2 more points quickly on them. Mackey then serves the ball wrong twice, due to which he loses 2 points, and soon they lose their first match. They change sides, and the second match begins as Arashi makes his serve. His ultra power serve scores a point, and he tells them that they can never score as long as he is serving. Even Sunaga does a powerful serve, due to which he earns a point, and Mackey tells Tama that he wants to try something to counter their serves. Yuta prays hard for his team, and on the court, Tama serves the ball. Arashi hits it back, and Tama hits it back in the middle of both his opponents, due to which they collide into each other, and Tama earns a point. Arashi tells Sunaga to stay out of his way, and Tama follows this strategy again as he hits the ball between both the players. They earn another point this way, and Tama recalls when Mackey told him that Sunaga is just an accessory to Arashi rather than an equal partner, so they should exploit their relationship. Once again the ball continues, and Mackey aims to hit the ball between 2 players, due to which he successfully does a volley when Arashi hits the ball back and manages to earn another point. Mackey tells them that it takes 2 players to play a doubles match, and Mackey again hits the ball in the middle, due to which Arashi and Sunaga collide with each other and lose a point. Mackey and Tama win the match, and they switch sides again. Mackey tells Tama that his eyes can get used to Arashi's serve if he tries, and that he just needs to hit the ball back, which will get the game going. Arashi serves the ball, but due to a wrong toss, he hits the net and loses a point. He serves again, and Tama manages to hit the ball back. They hit it back and forth till Arashi trips on the ground and loses the ball. Arashi's team then wrongly hits the net twice when they serve, due to which they lose 2 points and lose the match as well. The game proceeds to the final match, in which each team has to get 7 points to win the match. Arashi becomes all hormonal as he starts whining about how he cannot believe that the game would go to the final match with losers like these. The final game begins, and Arashi makes a serve which Tama hits back, but it hits the net, due to which Tama loses a point. The match continues, and Mackey's team earns another point, which ties the match. They both gradually earn points, and the match then goes to advantage serve, which means that if Arashi earns another point, he will win the match. Arashi serves the ball, and this time Mackey sees the fast ball clearly, so he hits it back, and Arashi fails to counter, due to which he loses a point. The match becomes tied again, and up next Arashi scores another point, but soon he trips and hits the net with his ball, due to which he loses another point, and the score becomes tied again. Mackey tells Tama that he is having a lot of fun, while Arashi wonders why he isn't winning, especially since he plays so much better than the amateurs. The match continues, and Arashi scores another point, so Mackey's team scores 1 more point too, due to which the match becomes tied again. Arashi tells Sunaga to hit any shot he can get, and Mackey and Tama notice that their opponent's teamwork is getting better, which they were hoping to avoid. The match becomes tied once more as both teams score each point each, and Yuta tells Kanako that there needs to be a 2 points difference for any one of the teams to win. Arashi makes a very powerful serve which Tama fails to hit, so he loses 1 point. Arashi then does the same serve again, but Mackey receives it and hits the ball back. They do a series of rallies in which Arashi and Sanaga even coordinate to hit the ball back, and finally Arashi's shot hits the net, but this time the ball tumbles to Mackey's side and they lose another point. Misaki Academy boys cheer while Arashi yells out loud that he isn't happy about winning so pathetically. Mackey tells Tama that he had a lot of fun even if they lost, and their teammates clap for them when they return to them. The next day the team asks Mackey to suggest some practice ideas, and he advises them they all have to increase their endurance first to outrun their opponents. They all joke around in the locker room that they should start running again, and suddenly Itsuki joins them to their shock. Itsuki begins to take his shirt off, and just when he shows his scar to everyone, Mackey asks him whether he wants to try a new trick in practice which he has just thought of. Afterwards, the team discusses how they need to come up with more practice ideas, and Sakaki tells them not to overdo practice. They ask Sakaki to arrange another practice match for them, and he advises them they shouldn't keep practicing all the time, otherwise they will run out of gas. They ask him what they should do instead, and he tells them that the boys will be having a barbecue on coming Sunday at the Riverside Park. They all gather for barbecue on Sunday, and Sakaki takes out charcoal and grill which he has borrowed from Muru. He also takes out a lot of meat which his friend sent to him, while Mackey and the other bring pre-cut vegetables to the table. Mackey grills meat for everyone and asks for noodles too so that he can yakisoba for the boys. In the meanwhile, Arashi runs by the park with his dog, and he notices the club members enjoying their party. The boys stuff their faces with meat, and even Kanako eats meat like her life depends on it. Yuta comments that she seems to be enjoying the food, especially considering that she doesn't look like she is enjoying herself when she is eating lunch. The others start discussing how their sisters also eat a lot of food, and they insist Kanako eat a lot too. Arashi joins the party with his dog, and Mackey feeds the dog some meat while the other members wonder whether Arashi has come to pick a bone with them. Mackey tells Arashi that he only started playing soft tennis a month ago, which makes Arashi feel like he is being underestimated. Mackey invites him to eat food with them, and he tells him that he has to help cook it too. Arashi joins their group and soon begins to get along with Shingo especially, which isn't surprising considering they are both idiots. He asks Mackey about his yakisoba noodles, and when he eats them, he suddenly falls in love. He stuffs down another plate and Mackey cooks more noodles for him. He keeps complimenting Mackey's skills, and they all chit-chat with each other while Yuta goes over to Tama and asks him why he isn't joining the group. Tama replies that he struggles to get along with groups, and he wonders whether he is twisted for feeling this way. Mackey tells the others that he sharpened his reflexes by catching cockroaches in his old apartment, which grosses everyone out. The guys all then do their victory dance to bring good luck for the upcoming summer tournament. Now writes down notes relating to the soft tennis ball when his mom barges in and starts questioning him about his club activities and the barbecue. She comments that the boys seem like bad influences, and she tells him that she won't be able to pass high school entrance exams if he keeps wasting his time on useless club activities. She keeps pestering, so he yells that he doesn't want to quit the club, and she reminds him that she once went to watch one of his practice matches in which everyone failed as soon as they started. She asks him whether he can win now, and he walks away after telling her that he never asked her to become his mother. Later, Nao's mother complains about the club to the school, due to which the management suspends their practice for 1 whole week, and when Sakurai informs the boys, they call her the witch since she keeps complaining to the school about every little thing. Mackey comments to Nao that it must be tough for him, and Sakurai then shows them the arrangement for the upcoming summer tournament, in which they have to compete first with Hatanaka Middle School. The boys discuss how Hatanaka has a very tall player who is in 2nd year just like them, and how they should gather some data regarding their first opponent, especially since they are suspended for a week and don't have anything to do. Yuta proposes an idea, and later he asks his sisters to give him some of their clothes, which they agree to keep a secret from their mother. Nao's mom tells him that it's good to see him come home so early, and she proposes to get him admitted in a cram school to help him out in his studies. The club members discuss how they can go to Hatanaka to scout their players, and they discuss how everyone was so crazy over their tall player that the school authorities had to put a fence around the tennis court to keep out such people from peeping, and they may even call the police on them if they decide to sneak in. They discuss that a lot of girls come to fangirl over the players too, and one of them proposes that Kanako can go to spy on them, but she argues that she doesn't know anything about playing styles, so she won't be able to tell them any good information. Yuta proposes that the boys can dress up and go to scout the players, and since there will be a lot of players, they will be able to blend in too. Kanako asks him how they will arrange the clothing, and Yuta answers that he can borrow clothes from his sisters. He proposes that he can even sneak in a video, but he wants another player to go with him, and Kanako gets an excellent idea when she notices Mackey. Later, Mackey and his gang go to Yuta's house, where Yuta reveals that he knows how to do makeup, and he asks Mackey whether he finds it weird. Mackey doesn't find it weird, and Yuta replies that he doesn't know what he wants to be or who he wants to be. Mackey tells him that his mom has a college friend who looks like a man but he is officially a woman, and that this friend took care of him a lot when he was little, due to which he considers him a family and he loves him a lot. He explains that Shu told him that he used to feel very uncomfortable in girls' clothes in high school, but he could never tell his family, and when he graduated and moved out on his own, he started living as a man, which finally gave him relief because he could now live the way he wanted to. Mackey tells him that he sometimes wonders the meaning of life, and Yuta shares his feelings that he isn't able to figure himself out either, since he thinks he is non-binary, but the world wants to put him in some kind of bracket, and being unsure creates issues. Mackey shares that he is unsure about his place and what he wants to do. He even wonders whether it's really important to figure out oneself. Mackey tells him that his mom's friend is called Shu even though his name was Shauko before, and Yuta reveals that his sisters also call him Yu, which he likes, so Mackey decides to call him Yu from now onwards too. They both step out after changing and surprise Tama and Kanako by their appearance. The others meet up, and Shinjo reveals that he has borrowed a video camera from his dad to videotape as well. To their surprise, Mackey and Yuta arrive dressed up as girls, and they can't believe it since they look really feminine. They are about to head to Hatanaka when suddenly one of their friends from outside the club called Tekudo comes across them and asks them about the girls. Tama distracts him while the rest of them run towards the station to get away from him. Later, Kanako and the two girls arrive at Hatanaka, where there are already girls gathered to stalk their player called Joy. Kanako pushes the girls to a side while Mackey and Yuta take their position to watch the players. The girls behave rudely to Kanako while Yuta videotapes Joy, and Mackey observes his playing style. The others notice that the girls are really pushing around Kanako, and just then, Mackey decides that they have observed enough, so they should go. They all regroup and notice that Kanako's shoes are all dirty due to being stomped over by the girls. Rintaru wipes her shoes while Mackey tells her that she did a good job since she must have been scared surrounded by so many girls. Later, Yuta tells Mackey that he didn't feel like a girl when he walked around the girls' school, but he is not sure whether he wants to be a boy either, and Mackey replies to him that it's fine if he can't decide right now. He advises him not to force himself to make a decision since they still have plenty of time ahead of them. Later, the boys watch the video of Joy playing and come to a conclusion that they can never beat him. They discuss whether they can only win the other two matches since it's going to be a 3-teams tournament, and Kanako tells them that they have the wrong attitude towards the match. They decide to play a practice match against the girls' team, so Sakurai later requests Miru to arrange a match with their girls' soft tennis ball team. Itsuki also requests his sister to get permission from their captain Takada to accept the match. Kanako approaches Sakurai and shows him her sketchbook. She shares that she wants to learn how to draw better even though her family thinks she is stupid for having such ambitions, and she asks him whether she is allowed to dream too. Later, Mackey comes across Kanako brooding, so he invites her to eat with them, and Yuta comments that Mackey is really amazing since he can sense people's feelings. The next day, Yuta tells the team that their practice match with the girl team is finally happening. Shingo arrives home and his little sister runs up to him, so his mom scolds him for touching her with dirty hands. At Nao's house, he tells his mom that he is going to the library the next day to study, and she scolds him for lying to her. She asks him why he has not quit the tennis team, and he lies that he has already quit the team. She keeps scolding him for not listening to her, and she even says that she will talk to the club advisor herself to sort this matter out. Shingo's sister On keeps asking her mom to let her go watch his match, and his dad asks him whether he can really take care of her, so he replies that his club will help him look after her as well. His dad agrees even though his mom doesn't agree, and On celebrates this since she can go watch Shingo's match now. Mackey's mom discusses the soft tennis club with her, and she asks him whether he is having fun. She tells her that he is having a lot of fun, which makes her happy. The next day, Nao keeps picking on his food as his dad and mom finish their plates. Later, Shingo takes On to the club's locker room where mostly everyone seems to be already familiar with On, and she greets everyone too. Sakurai thanks Miru for agreeing to the match, and Miru tells her team to stay hydrated and to watch out for injuries. Takada tells Nami about the pairs for the match, and they notice that the girls seem really excited for the match since the boys have really fired them up. Itsuki shows On how to swing a racket, but when she tries holding it, she finds it very heavy. Shingo then takes it from her and swings it so she jumps up and down with happiness, which makes Teiyu comment that she thinks Shingo is her hero. Sakurai also tell everyone to look after On, and they tell him they are taking turns to watch over her. Mackey notices that Now seems out of it, but before he can say anything to him, Tama starts discussing the match with him. Later On goes to the washroom, and when she comes outside, she doesn't see anyone around, so she begins exploring the school on her own. The club members bring some material and clean the grounds. Soon Shingo notices that On isn't around, and Teiyu tells him that he sent On to the washroom, but she isn't back yet. Kanako scolds him for sending a little girl on her own, and she starts looking for On everywhere. She tells the boys that On is missing, so they all start searching for her, but they don't find her anywhere. Kanako and Rintaru rush to the roof to look for her, and to their relief they find the door locked. Now then goes to the infirmary, where he comes across On sleeping with some toys, and suddenly he recalls how his mom scolded a lot for not quitting the tennis club. He thinks that the match will get cancelled because of On, even though he lied to his mom to come to school, and he locks On in the infirmary. They all regroup to discuss that they cannot find On anywhere, and Shingo requests everyone to look for her again. They all agree and go in different directions to look for her, while Teiyu notices that Now is behaving strangely. Sakurai apologizes to Miru for making them wait, and he asks the girls' team to wait a bit longer. Teiyu tells Now to spill if he knows anything about On, and he replies that he couldn't find her anywhere. Mackey asks him where he searched for her, and when he reveals that he looked in the infirmary, Mackey comments that he couldn't get inside the infirmary because it was locked. Now argues with him that he actually went inside, but he didn't find anyone there, so Mackey asks him whether he locked the infirmary's door. He then notices a key in Nao's pocket, so he snatches it away from him and runs to the infirmary. He unlocks it and rushes inside, only to find On sleeping soundly inside. He wakes her up, and later everyone apologizes to the girls by getting on their knees for making them wait for so long. The girls start laughing at the sight, and the mood lightens up, while Nao starts crying because he thinks he doesn't belong in this world. Shingo and Tsubasa play the first match against the girls' team, while On cheers her brother on. In the meanwhile, Nao lies on the side while Teiyu looks over him. Later, Kanako wonders why Nao lied to them, and Mackey explains to her that it wasn't a lie in Nao's head. They all discuss Nao's creepy behavior, and Kanako wonders why Nao would go to such an extent to make such a lie, even though it must be hard on him. Yuta comments that there's a disorder called pathological lying, which is caused by emotional stress, and Tama confirms that it must be because of Nao's mom. They discuss how Nao's mom is so protective over him that she rejects all of his personality, and at the same time, Nao notices that his call history is filled with missed calls from his mom. Tama tells the others that Nao's dad doesn't care about family affairs, and they then start discussing their matches with the girls' team and how they need to work on their weak areas. Tsubasa's brothers comment that he looks really happy when he is fiddling with his racket, and they tease him about playing softball, which isn't a hard sport like football. They all fool around, and just then his dad enters the room. He asks him why he is still playing softball, so Tsubasa walks away from him. He walks after him, and things get heated when he slaps Tsubasa when Tsubasa yells at him. Tsubasa then trips from the stairs and falls down, due to which he also strains his wrist. His family members gather around him and ask him whether he is alright, but Tsubasa just storms out of his home. Shingo tells his sister that she cannot just go exploring on his own, and she apologizes to him. Just then Tsubasa walks by his home in tears, and Shingo tells his dad that he is going outside to practice some swinging. His dad wishes him good luck for the upcoming tournament, and when he steps outside, he notices Tsubasa, who tries to walk away. He stops Tsubasa and notices that his wrist seems very swollen, so he tells his dad to take Tsubasa to the hospital. They take him to the hospital, where the doctor tells them that his wrist is fractured and that it will take 2 months for it to fully heal. He tells them that Tsubasa cannot play racket for 2 months, and Tsubasa apologizes to Shingo for being a clumsy idiot. Afterwards, Shingo's mom comments that Shingo seems to look more like his real mother day by day, while Shingo and Tsubasa walk in the park, and Tsubasa tells his sob story to Shingo that his dad hates him. He tells him his dad can never forgive him for giving up on soccer back in elementary school because his brothers are very skilled at it, and he then starts bawling his eyes out because he can't play in the upcoming match. Tsubasa informs everyone about his wrist and apologizes because his pair cannot compete in the match anymore. Teiyu realizes that he and Nao will have to compete in the tournament now, since the tournament requires 3 pairs, and Nao comments that the other 2 pairs can win, which will make them win overall. Mackey advises him to stop thinking like a pathetic loser and now suggests that maybe Shingo can pair up with someone else to compete in the match. Shingo yells at him that they have all worked hard with the current pairs and that he will never play without Subasa. He tells Nao and Teiyu to win the match on their behalf since he knows that they have worked hard, and they all do their grasshopper victory dance to motivate themselves. Mackey informs his mom about the upcoming regional prelims match, and she informs him that she cannot come due to her work. She gives him some money as a special allowance for his match, so he later buys a lot of food with Tama. He tells him that he is buying animal feed while Tama also comes with him because he wants to buy a wristband to wipe his sweat during his match. He teases him, and just then they stumble across Arashi in the market. He asks Mackey to give him some yakisoba noodles like a starved man, and when Mackey tells him that he doesn't have any noodles, he asks Mackey to make some noodles for him. Mackey offers to call him whenever he makes noodles next time, and he asks him to make noodles for him now at his home or at Mackey's home. He reveals that he even asked his housekeeper to make them for him, but the taste wasn't the same. They all come across the infamous Itsuki brothers, who are famous tennis regional players, and they tell Arashi to not drop out of the tournament before competing with them. Arashi boldly tells them that he will only lose to them, and they tell him that he can never play a doubles match by himself. They notice Tama and Mackey, so they comment that Shijo Minami's team used to be good once upon a time when they won the nationals 2 times in a row. They walk away after wishing Arashi good luck, and Arashi tells the others that the Itsuki brothers were last year's national champions. Later, Ryama tells Tama about how Mackey asked him how to serve a slice in the game and how Mackey picks things up very quickly. Tama comments that he is always talking about Mackey, so Ryama tells him that he is going to come watch his match and walks out the room. Tama then recalls when Mackey practiced making the slice serve with him but never told him anything else. Rintaru's parents come into his room and tell him that his birth mother is expecting to meet him. Tama struggles to finish his dinner, and his mom pesters him about it, so he tells her that her cooking isn't good, because of which their dad also never eats at home. She tells him that she never wanted to become his mother, and if only Ryama had stayed out of the whole situation. Kanako reads all the mean comments on her online posts telling her that her drawings suck, so she decides to post a drawing of Mackey and Tama playing tennis. The next day, the student council president Kasuga visits the tennis grounds, and she tells them that she has heard rumors that their club has been working hard. He replies that they don't want their club to get disbanded, so she replies that the bar is set quite low if they cannot even win one single match in the summer tournament. Tama tells her that she is right and how they were pathetic before, but they are working hard on, and they are even having fun, which makes her laugh. Later, the boys discuss the tournament lineup, in which they are put against Hatanaka's pairs, and they wonder whether they are cursed. The next morning, Mackey's mom gets up late and sees that Mackey has left some change on the table from the special allowance she gave him. At the Musashi tennis court, Kanako rushes through the crowd to get to the team, while the team discusses how their Itsuki and Rintaru will play the first doubles match. Arashi also joins them to tease them about being good-for-nothing losers, and he tells them that he isn't participating in his first match. Teiyu's parents also come to meet him, and the boys tell Mackey that they always come to watch all of his matches. His parents tell him to take it easy and that he can blame his teammate if he fails to score points, but Teiyu argues with them that both players share equal responsibility in a doubles tennis match. For the first match, Itsuki and Rintaru compete against third-year players from Johoku Middle School, and Yuta comments that they are all good players, so their team may struggle to win the match. The game begins and Johoku's players score first due to their serve, but Itsuki comments that their serve is nothing compared to Takeda's serve. Their confidence increases and they score points again and again till they win their first match. They soon win their next match too when Mackey notices that something is off about Rintaru. For their third game, Johoku's players score points on points and take the game. They win the next game too, which ties their score, and the boys notice that Rintaru's performance seems off. Rintaru tells Itsuki that his leg is cramping, so he advises him to stay in the middle while he will fall back to cover for him. They follow this strategy, but even then they lose many points, and finally Johoku wins the match. Rintaru apologizes to Itsuki for holding him back, and he tells him that they will win the next time. Up next, Nao and Teiyu step forward for their match, but they seem bummed right off the bat. Mackey recalls how he fed Arashi some of his favorite yakisoba noodles and extracted information from him about the pair that Teiyu and Nao are playing against. Teiyu and Nao comment that they are going to lose, so it's up to Tama and Mackey to make a comeback, while Shingo and Subasa scold them for acting like losers. Mackey advises them to do some weird moves to distract the other players, and he also tells them to enjoy the match. The match begins and Teiyu and Nao run back and forth as they switch their positions, which confuse the players. They score points this way and win the match. They keep up this strategy, but soon they run out of stamina, and finally the game boils down to the final match, since they have won 2 matches and Misaki Academy's players have also won 2 matches. In the last match they are completely out of stamina, so they fail to score any points, and Misaki Academy finally wins the match. Their players compliment them for running around a lot, and Tama and Mackey get ready for their match next. The girls all gather to fangirl over the opponent player Joy, which makes Kanako comment that she should hide to get away from them. Arashi yells out at Mackey that he shouldn't lose his first match, while Joy tells his horde of fangirls that he will do his best for them. Kanako asks Yuta whether Mackey's pair can win, and he says it's possible, but it's also very difficult based on the research that they have done. Now also seems to enjoy cheering for his teammates a lot, but suddenly he gets a call from his mom. He tells Teiyu that he is different now and that he is going to change, so he takes his phone to his bag and puts it in there. The match begins, and Tama reminds himself that he has to mean every shot when he hits it, while Mackey just takes in Joy's tall height. Right off the bat, Joy takes advantage of his tall height to do a volley on Mackey, which scores him a point, and Mackey tells Tama to enjoy the match. Once again, Joy takes advantage of his long arms to do a volley and scores a point, so Mackey decides to step back a bit to change his strategy. Joy serves the ball and scores 2 more points because of his powerful serves, due to which he wins the first match. Tama comments that they cannot do anything if Joy is serving, while Mackey wonders whether they should try hitting him back with his serve. They change and the second match begins, in which Joy again takes advantage of his tall height to do a volley right off the bat, which serves him a point. Tama tells Mackey that he doesn't want to lose at any cost, and he recalls how his mom keeps telling him that he cannot win, and that he is trash compared to Ryoma. He recalls how she used to attend all of Ryoma's matches too. Mackey tells him that just like Arashi's pair, Joy is playing in this match so they can exploit the imbalance between the pair to score points. The match resumes, and this time both of them keep hitting long shots at Joy's partner, due to which they get a chance and score a point. They follow the same tactic and score another point, while Joy's fangirls comment that it's boring when Joy cannot play. Up next, Joy moves back to counter their shots and then runs in the front because he wants to score 2, while Mackey and Tama keep hitting long shots at Joy's partner. Finally, one of them does a slice curve, and when Joy's partner hits it back, it goes outside the court, due to which Mackey's pair earns a point. They win the match this way, and for the next match, they keep up this strategy. Joy also starts messing up as he trips on the ground and hits the ball at the net 2 once. Tama and Mackey win another match, and they decide to win the last match to seal the deal. For the first shot, Joy's partner hits the ball at the net, which makes Joy think that he is dead weight. Up next, Joy serves the ball, but Tama and Mackey manage to handle it, and they score another point against him by following the same strategy. Mackey then makes a slice curve ball at Joy's partner, which makes him hit the ball outside the court, and they score another point. They need just 1 more point, and Tama recalls all of their moments together and how Mackey came to join the team in the first place. Mackey decides to pour all of his power into his last serve, and he serves the ball with full strength. Joy fails to return the ball back, and Mackey and Tama score another point, due to which they win the whole game. Everyone celebrates their win, and even Sakurai cannot believe that his boys can win any match. Kasuga also watches the match from the audience, and Tama hugs Mackey as he thanks him for everything. The others surround them to celebrate their win, while Joy tells his partner that maybe he is not suited for soft tennis, so he should quit the sport and join another popular sport instead. Nao's mom keeps calling him like a psycho, and she wonders why boys are so selfish since she does everything for his sake. She decides to let his behavior slide this one time, however she wants him to remember that he is still her only boy in the whole wide world. The Itsuki brothers also hear about Shinjo Minami's win from the others, and one twin tells the others that one of the boys from Shinjo Minami is Ryama's little brother. They discuss how they might be able to play against them now that they have beat Joy. Sakurai also congratulates the boys for securing their first win, and he informs them that they have to compete against Uenishi Middle School's 3rd year's pair. Tama comments that they can win, which makes Mackey happy to see that he has got his confidence back. The matches begin, and Tama and Mackey keep up their spectacular performance, due to which they win 3 games in a row and secure another win for Shinjo Minami. The audience wonders how they can win so easily since Uenishi's pair reached the top right last time. Arashi finally goes away to play his own match, and he scores points on points over his opponents. He keeps calling them weak, so the referee has to tell him to stop taunting his opponents like a child. Mackey and Tama get grouped against Yumagon Kita's pair, and the rest of the boys keep up cheering them to support them. They play with the same pace against them and win with a 2-match lead. For their next opponent they have to face the Itsuki brothers, and the people in the audience comment how they are unlucky since it's game over for them now. They face their opponents while Rintaru gets a message from his birth mother telling him that she watched his match and she is proud of him for working so hard. She goes on to say that it's a shame he couldn't win, but she is going home now and she hopes to talk to him one day. Rintaru sees someone walking away in the audience, so he rushes towards them. The match with Itsuki brothers begins as one of Itsuki brothers serves the ball. He serves the ball so fast that they don't see it going past them and they lose their first point. They keep losing points as one of Itsuki brothers keeps serving his crazy serves, which are too fast and have a curve as well. Before the match, Mackey feeds Arashi some more noodles and asks him ways to beat the Itsuki brothers, so Arashi tells him that there's no way in hell he can beat Itsuki brothers, especially since he started playing tennis only 3 months ago. Rintaru searches for his birth mom everywhere and Itsuki also follows him outside. He tells him that his birth mom came to watch his game, but he decides to watch Mackey and Tama's match, so he runs back. The boys discuss how Mackey and Tama don't stand a chance against the Itsuki brothers and Kanako scolds them. Sakurai thinks that Mackey's pair should take it lightly since it's just a bonus stage match, while Mackey and Tama discuss how they are unable to even hit the ball back. Tama asks Mackey whether there's any method to win against the brothers and Mackey just smiles mysteriously at him. The match resumes and Tama makes a faulty serve which costs him a point. The Itsuki brothers then score another point, due to which they win the match, and Mackey advises Tama to play like he usually plays. The Itsuki brothers think about how they don't want to wear themselves out, so they should finish the match early on. The second match begins and this time Mackey and Tama keep hitting the ball at the back player, but the front Itsuki brother jumps in between to make a volley and scores a point. The Itsuki brothers then score some more points by making clever choices and win their second match as well. Rintaru and Itsuki arrive back only to find that Mackey's pair is losing in such a short amount of time, and Yuta reminds everyone that Mackey and Tama haven't given up yet, so they should also keep supporting them. The Itsuki brothers discuss how Shinjo Minami's players are a letdown, and how Tama doesn't even compare to his brother Ryama, who was a big hotshot. The final match begins and this time Mackey and Tama put extra effort, in which even the Itsuki brothers notice this. Mackey keeps running back and forth for his shots, which confuses the Itsuki brothers, and the directions of his shots also keeps changing. Before the match, Mackey discusses with Tama how he has only just started playing tennis 3 months ago, so he can switch his position on a whim and he can use this quality to catch their opponents off guard. In the present, they follow this strategy as both of them keep running back and forth, and finally they manage to score a point this way by doing a volley. One of Itsuki brothers does a powerful serve, but Mackey manages to make the ball return and they score another point after that. The Itsuki brothers get annoyed, so one of them does a fault serve 2 times, due to which Mackey's pair earns another point. Somehow Mackey and Tama manage to 1 more point, due to which they win the match. The teams change sides while the audience cannot believe that they can win a match against the Itsuki brothers, who are the previous champions. In the next match, the Itsuki brothers feel like the ball has become even heavier, and Mackey's pair scores the first point on them. Arashi also joins the audience and the game continues as the Itsuki brothers score their first point. Mackey's pair then gains 1 point on them and soon they score 2 more points, due to which they win the match. The Itsuki brothers can't believe that they can go to a final game in the regional preliminaries, while the people in the audience also wonder the same thing, since they thought that Shinjo Minami's girls team was the only good team. Tama and Mackey decide to have fun in the final match, while the Itsuki brothers sweat buckets of shame on the side since soft tennis is their domain. The Itsuki brothers serve the ball first, but Tama returns it smoothly and scores a point. Up next, they serve the ball twice, but they make faulty serves, due to which Mackey's pair earns another point, and the serve switches to Mackey and Tama's side. Tama serves the ball and the game resumes, while the people in the audience start cheering for Mackey and Tama this time. Tama and Mackey score another point and the Itsuki brothers wonder how they can be losing. One of them slaps the other one and tells him to focus on the game. He gets slapped back and they both regain their focus this time. The match resumes and this time Itsuki brothers manage to score their first point by making a powerful shot which Tama fails to return properly. The brothers score 2 more points this way and the match gets tied. Finally, Itsuki brothers score 1 more point which gets them into the lead, so Tama and Mackey discuss what they should do. Mackey suggests that they should keep trying and they both start laughing when they realize that they made the soft tennis champions play so seriously. The others realize that they are having a lot of fun and the game continues as the Itsuki brothers keep scoring points on points. For their last point, one of Itsuki brothers does a very powerful serve that nobody manages to return and they manage to score a point this way. They win the match as well as the whole game and the audience cheers for all of them for giving them such a good game. The Itsuki brothers shake Mackey and Tama's hands and tell them that they look forward to playing with them again. The others celebrate their game even though they lost and surround them to cheer them on. Afterwards, everyone rests up while Tama calls his brother Ryoma, who said he would come to watch his match. His mom picks up the phone and tells him that Ryoma must have forgotten his phone at home. He tells her that he won the match but lost at the end, so she replies that he must have given his best. She tells him that she is getting divorced and that he will be living with his dad while she will live with Ryoma. He asks her the reason, so she reveals that she didn't want to deal with him because she hates him the most. Suddenly, Ryoma runs over to Tama and he notices that Tama isn't responding to him. Mackey gets back home and notices that there's broken glass at the door. He asks Shu where his mom is and notices an empty envelope of money lying on the table. Later, he goes to a dingy shop to buy a knife. Kanako reads all the mean comments on her latest posts, which include drawings of the tennis club boys, but she still keeps working on them. Mackey arrives at his dad's apartment and takes out his knife before going inside, as he believes that things cannot continue this way. That's it for today, my fellow men of culture. Like and subscribe the channel for more plot-filled recaps.